right. Welcome to Genesis Nation, where we are leveraging technology to help you create your dream practice. And it's Black Shirt Day today. So I'm glad we both listened to that prompt. With me today, I'm excited to have Scott Warren, who is the head of strategic growth for Blueprint Practice Automation. You may have also heard of it as BPA to some of their clients, but just as someone who's been involved in digital marketing for the last 20 years, 25 years since the invention of the internet, I have witnessed Dr. Aaron Gum, the CEO, and I'm gonna have you talk about him in a second, but you guys just crush it, man. And we've obviously had some conversations, and we're gonna dive into what Blueprint is all about. But even just as a consumer of Instagram and Facebook, I'm not on TikTok, but your marketing is dialed in. So that's a good indication of that marketing being dialed into your customers as well. So I'm gonna give it Mike here. So yeah, if you can give us a background, of Dr. Gum and how he created Blueprint, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a great roller coaster ride so far. We've been on the Inc. 500 the last 3 years in a row as the fastest growing chiropractic company in the space,
Wow.
which is awesome. So,
Yeah.
and that's not really tooting our own horn, but it's really just to explain that our process is working for the patients, right?
Yeah.
And the patients are referring more patients to our doctors. And then the process is working obviously for the doctors, and they're referring more doctors to us, which is great. So,
Yep.
we're only able to grow because the protocols and everything are working well. So we have over 1,000 doctors that are using the protocols across the US. Really, as you mentioned, it was stood up and founded by Dr. Aaron Gum, who was a chiropractor in Texas, in Dallas. And actually, the first starting point was him being sick for a little over 2 weeks. And during that sickness, he actually pre-recorded some videos and, an ROF process and a different process on, a couple different like neuropathy and a couple different modalities that people were coming in and doing. And what he found out was that the office staff did a really great job. They had a really high closing rate. They were doing well. So just with those pre-recorded videos, the office was running better with them out being, without them even being there.
Yeah.
So really, really quickly, he learned how to start automating a lot more of the practice. And then that's eventually what then grew into expanding it out to other doctors as well.
Awesome. So one thing to mention as well, you said you had over 1,000 clients and collecting over 300,000 a month, not insurance wise, but cash, which is awesome. So I'd love for you to dive into some of the, because there's a marketing piece that you have, but then there's also a clinical application of those pieces. Things like programs for neuropathy, obesity, leaky gut, knee problems, disc problems. So can you talk about some of those verticals for some of our Genesis Nation people?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if can I screen share? Do you
Sure.
have me hooked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
You may run into some technical difficulties because that is not my expertise. But
Yeah, I think you have to enable me with that. It doesn't look like it's enabled right now.
Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Nope, I can share my screen, but I don't have that. I don't have that capability for you right now.
Okay.
Can you,
Yeah,
can you explain it without that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I was just going to pop it up so everybody could see it, but
sorry, Nation. My technical skills are limited. It's above my pay.
No worries. Tons of grace for sure.
Thank you.
All right, so we have 16 automated clinical niches, but beyond the fact that they're just automated clinical niches, we also break them up into several different business strategies. And this is really where the gold's at, is that 4 of the automated clinical protocols are going to be under attended therapy, meaning that, we're going to drive traffic into the office. But a lot of our doctors are actually to the point where I don't want any more people in the office. I'm already adjusting, 2,000 patients a month plus. I'm starting to get a little bit burned out, so everybody's at a different pace of where they're at with their practice. But when we do drive in new patients, it's under attended therapies. Obviously chiropractic is one of the automated clinical protocols, decompression, body contouring, and neurofeedback. Those are all attended therapies, meaning that there's no other way for us to actually do the treatment without being hands-on with the patient. Okay. But where the company exploded during COVID, especially when a lot of offices were shut down at the time, is through what are called our hybrid and virtual therapies. So our hybrid therapies means that you're going to gain a chiropractic patient that you're going to be adjusting for. But then on the backside of that, 90% of the rest of the protocol, we drop ship everything needed for the protocol to be done at home.
Awesome.
The reason why it works so well is because it is actually an at-home therapy. Somebody's not willing to drive in to do a treatment 2 or 3 times a day. And something like our neuropathy protocol, they actually need the treatment multiple times a day in the beginning
Yeah.
to really take traction. So
I want to laser point on that, the drop ship
yeah,
piece. So that means you don't have to carry inventory.
exactly.
You're learning the protocols, putting, let's say, neuropathy program into play, whatever
Yep.
supplements or lasers or different elements may be involved in that treatment protocol, that goes straight to the patient. But there's an exchange of money through my office, if I'm the doc, and the patient. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep. So of those hybrid therapies, then we'll kind of go back into the business strategy of it. But of the hybrid therapies, we have neuropathy, shoulder, knee. That's how we do both our shoulder and knee program, plantar fasciitis, erectile dysfunction, and then regenerative medicine. So
Wow.
really the goal with those hybrid therapies is they're all programs that are they're clinical based. So they're going to carry a higher care plan. You know, you can't charge $7,000 to $10,000 for just a straight chiropractic plan, right? But when you have a neuropathy patient come in, that is what on average is going to be charged, is anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. And really their next best option in the healthcare world as it is right now is some sort of, medication that doesn't fully work all the time, or they're on an amputation list, which is, $100,000 operation, plus you're getting another $150,000 to $200,000 of things in your home that need to be adjusted because now you just had something amputated. So they're a very motivated client. A $7,000 to $10,000 care plan for a 90-day package is not something that they're not going to be willing to participate in to get help. We have a 97% clinical success rate with the protocol, and that's because they are doing it multiple times at home, and it's not attended therapy. But on the backside of that, what's awesome is that for our doctors, they now have new higher end care plans that also are lowering the overhead of the office, because you don't have to spend a whole lot of time with a neuropathy patient. You
Yeah.
bring them in initially, you do the adjusting, and then you almost become a little bit more of a coach, just making sure that they're doing the treatment at home.
And are these verticals of treatment like neuropathy and some of these other hybrid programs, or do they have to be coordinated with another healthcare practitioner, like a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant, or your offices are running this through the chiropractors?
Yeah, only our regenerative medicine program would need to be through like maybe a nurse practitioner and MD, but pretty much the rest of them are all designed so that any chiropractor can bolt them onto their office. We walk in completely through. So the automation of the 16 automated clinical niches, the automation portion of it is that we have a seminar for every single one of the niches. So, long gone are the days of, hey, we need to do a health seminar at the office, bring 20 people to the office and the doctor has to stand there and do a health seminar. No, we're going to drive all that traffic via
I
webinar
used to do those.
funnel. Yeah, or if you do them still, some people still like doing lunch and learns and dinners. They just don't do it as a doctor anymore. They just hire a salesperson because you already have this automated seminar that's, just like McDonald's, it's going to be the same thing consistently over and over again. You just press play and then you generate that lead to the office, but they can just have salespeople do that now, but they don't have to do it as a doctor.
And the ideal setup for that is an evergreen program online where that's running through. So you guys do you help your customers create like Facebook ad, Instagram ad, and then that drives them to that evergreen webinar? Is that how it works?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. We're not a company. We're not per se a marketing company, but we have all the vendor partnerships that are going to do that. And they're also the ones that have already been vetted out because they're creating results for all of our doctors.
Yeah. And it seems like everybody across the globe is doing digital marketing now. So that's a key that you guys have vetted them, and you have a trusted resource there, which is cool.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about digital marketing for a little bit. I know you're not a marketing company, but where does that all fit in?
Yeah. So how we operate is that we really help them market through two different channels. One of them is called internal marketing. One of them is called external marketing. So internal marketing, and again, I wish I could kind of show you the screen here of it. Of these 16 automated clinical niches, you know, if they're only doing chiropractic right now, we have 15 other protocols that now they can internally market. So if they've been in an office for 20, 25 years and they're seeing, you know, 1,000 patients a month plus or whatever it might be, they may have a database internally of 20 to 30,000, you know, potential patients. What that potential patient didn't know, though, is that they had a weight loss program, or that
Yeah.
they have a keto, you know, they have a diabetic program, or they have plantar fasciitis program, right? Like, so now they have the ability, when they plug in with us, they have the ability to have 15 other protocols offered internally. So they can do an internal marketing blast and start getting, where our focus would be on that is with our virtual protocols, which I know we didn't go over all 6 of those, so I will real quick, but that's the right, a leaky gut or trust your gut program, our weight loss program, diabetic, vegan, fibromyalgia, and then wellness, because those are all nutritionally based protocols, and they're all things that can be done 100% virtual. So you launch those internally and start re-engaging patients from the past that now have a targeted issue that they understand you have a treatment for. They didn't know that before. They just thought you were doing chiropractic, but they didn't understand that you actually have a weight loss program, or specifically a knee program, right?
You're just and you're repurposing an existing herd instead of going out and
Exactly.
spending a boat ton of money to, because ads are expensive and all that. So I
Yep.
mean, it's like I see this as like a turnkey system to take an old school iron horse practice, you know, and catch it up to this millennium, decade, wherever we're in.
Right.
So that's awesome, man. Really, really cool. Um, so I want to make sure next time we do this together, I'll figure out the screen share piece. So I promise you.
No worries.
But then also, can you talk to us about your the workshop that you guys do, the XPA?
Yeah, so the XPA is designed for really any doctors that aren't part of our program to just come and experience practice automation. So XPA stands for Experience Practice Automation. And really, it's a full 2-day plug-in to an event that we've already created actually internally for our doctors and their staff to come in and get fed. You know, so they're learning how to do the protocols, implement the protocols. They're learning business around how to be a good, efficient chiropractic office. Like, do you do a daily huddle? Do you do a weekly tactical? So what's your meeting cadence in the office? Do you have a VTO, you know, vision traction organizer? Do you have the ability so everybody understands you're on the same page?
Yeah.
They're working off of the same rhythms, you know, in the office. So we do all that. So it's business coaching as well as, you know, fundamentals of how to actually work through the protocols and become better at them, you know, sell the care plans, things like that. But we just open it up. It's an opportunity. It's a one-time guest pass to come experience what we do. You get to meet the doctors, you get to talk with our staff. So it's a great opportunity for new doctors just to learn what we do.
I mean, as a former practice owner and having toiled through everything that we just talked about, and I could share all the pain points from, you know, just companies not delivering, the ads not working, or not having the right protocols in place. So this is amazing. So I know this is kind of an overview, and I really wanted to just expose our Genesis Nation to Blueprint, and we're going to be at the XPA. So Genesis will be there when any of your customers have billing issues and want to leverage technology to help create, you know, the back end to all these things and managing, well, not necessarily managing inventory, but you know, we help with all that stuff. So any,
Yeah.
you know, the things that stick out to me are like practice automation, plug and play. You know, I just love these terms. Any final parts or any final words on those two elements?
Yeah, I mean, that's really where the automation comes in, right? Is that you have to have an automated lead generation process. That's through the seminar and the funnels. You also want to automate just the overall patient acquisition once they get into the lead funnel, right? What do your phones look like? How are you screening? You don't want to come in with a bunch of people that end up wasting a lot of time as well. You want to make sure that you screen them ahead of time, so that you're able to have a higher closing rate when they are in there, and you're able to really make traction with people. So we do that with our patient education process as well. Every single one of our automated clinical protocols has the patient education already done. So we teach doctors how to set up a patient education room and or just, you know, use their lobby if it's a smaller office, iPad with a headphone set. A lot of easy ways to do it, but the patient education with the seminar combined, our goal there is that we're cutting out at least 50% of the time for the doctor to acquire the customer, and that's huge.
Yeah, awesome, man. Lastly, what are your best clients, your best customers? Give me some of the joys that they're experiencing in life now that they've been working with you.
Yeah, I mean, our absolute, like, our mantra statement, right? The whole vision and mission and value for our company, our number one mission statement is creating freedom for doctors.
Awesome.
So obviously the doctors that we've been able to do that for are really truly hitting where our mission is. You know, if our mission is to create freedom for doctors, we've had a lot of successes where, you know, we have a doctor in South Dakota right now. He's 70, I think he's 78 years old, still practicing, but he only works 2 days a week, but he's collecting over $200,000 a month. He would have never been able to do that if he was actually adjusting people only.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way for his joints and everything to be able to do that at that age. You know, he'd just be totally burned out.
That's
so those types of stories are just amazing. You know, we've had some docs that have come in straight from school and have launched with us, and they actually launched virtually first. And they've gotten up to 150,000 a month launching virtually before they even open a brick and mortar office. So there's some really neat stories out there.
Yeah, yeah. So if Genesis Nation, if you have not checked out Blueprint Practice Automation, go check it out. Go to the XPA, check them out online. We'll put up, it's yourautomatedpractice.com with Dr. Aaron Gum, but we're also going to put everything down below so you know where to find them. And check us out. Check out our booth as well when you come to the XPA. So Scott, thank you so much. I look forward to this relationship growing and being able to, you know, get holistic health and chiropractic message out there. You guys are doing the right thing. So right on. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys and looking forward to having you at our event.
All right.